Good afternoon, everyone. Are you happy to be here? You don't look excited. Are you excited to be here? Some of you are still sitting behind, and I don't even understand that. If Dangote is to come here, will he sit behind? You are a special person, right? You may not be a billionaire yet, but you're on your way, right? So you don't deserve back seats. You deserve what? Front. So yeah, move forward, move forward. Everyone at the back, as a special person that you are, come forward, right? It does not matter. Chief Gabriel Ibenedium is doing his 89th birthday today, right? If he get crashed this event, he did not tell us he was coming. Is he going to sit at the back? Answer me now. Even while trying to be humble, will he sit at the back? Right? So success, and you should take this home, begins with what? Your mindset. It starts from within. People who know they are going somewhere, they act it before they get there. They behave it. Are you going somewhere? So I want you to tap your neighbor and say, neighbor. No, that's a poor man talk. Right? Say, neighbor. Aha, it's getting better. With boldness, with confidence. Say, neighbor. I will advise you to take my number now. Because very soon, you need to start filling forms and booking ahead before you can access me. But if you treat me well today, I'll remember you in my paradise. What did the neighbor say? Eh? What did the neighbor say? He agreed. And as he started treating you well, right? Put your heads together for yourselves, everybody. Please have your seats and welcome once again to this amazing event. And it's good to be here. I wish I had more time, but I had another meeting. So I will just be fast. Hopefully in 30 minutes I'm out of here for another engagement. But the good news is tomorrow we're going to be having a longer time. How many of you are CEOs here? CEOs, you own a business. So tomorrow is for you guys. We'll be having a longer session together to look at how to take your business to the next level. I'm here with our group CEO. He's based in Dubai, but he's visiting our Nigerian operation for a couple of weeks. His name is Mr. Rana. Please help me celebrate him. You know, he's our guy at the top in all our operations globally. And I'm also here. Please have your seat, sir. I'm also here with my executive assistant, Joshua, and head of IT, Jamil. Please celebrate them. Clap for them well. Okay? And you better clap well because there's a phase of your life that you will, by force, treat people specially. I hope you know what I'm talking about, right? Today now you cook your food, you know, no wahala. But if phase come, you must have a chef, you must have a driver. In fact, the driver they got for me in Benin has been giving me high blood pressure, you know. Okay? And your life is in the hands of these people. Who knows what I'm talking about? Right? So, as you rise higher, I tell people it's poverty that makes you treat people anyhow. As you rise higher, a lot of the closest people around you, you value them because they help you function well. Are we together now? And they prove that somebody does not know how it works at the top is that when you tell the person, this is my executive assistant, you overlook the person and move and say, Shebi, I'm talking to you. Okay, forget that one. And what they don't know is that those are the people that are the gatekeepers. I don't know that you understand what I'm saying. Today now, contractors want to get jobs from our company. And I will tell them, meet the CEO of the subsidiary. I say, sir, Shebi, me and you. And I'm looking at them, like, you don't understand. I don't give anybody contract. Right? I am no longer running at that level. Does that make sense at all? So if you don't value those people around me, you're on your own. Because at the end of the day, even though you have direct access to me, I will still send you to them. And by that time, they will now deal with you because you saw them earlier. And you what? You overlook them. Even in business, I tell people, all that contract you want, humble yourself with the gate man in that office. Settle down with him and say, I want job in this company. Right? How do you think I can access the person in charge? He will be the one to tell you that, okay, don't waste your time. Don't be the CEO. There's head of procurement, that guy. Now they do him. He comes to the office between what? 9:30. How many of you know what I'm talking about? And give you all the script. Is this making sense at all? I remember a lady, we just returned from Kigali, and she got a very big event job with one of the state governments in Nigeria. And the wife of the governor is an Igbo woman. She's also an Igbo woman. So I just naturally thought that, oh, she knew the wife, you know. And she said she has never met the wife in her life. That it was not even through the governor or anything. So oftentimes in life, many of us look down. We are passing beside billions, and we are just overlooking it. Because in our mind, I must meet Governor Obaseki. If not be Obaseki, everybody else no matter. Meanwhile, there may be a DG somewhere that you don't know. That person has the key to open the doors. Have we learned something today? Okay, so welcome to today's event, and I want you to help me celebrate the organizers. We have Pastor Glory Okodoa. Help me celebrating my very good friend of over 10 years. And we have the CEO of Bliss Legacy. Please clap for him. I met him for the first time 2 months ago or so. Himself and his wife, they came we have a CEO retreat that I do for a lot of people in the real estate industry. And, you know, I got to meet him and his lovely wife for the first time. Amazing thing they are doing in the real estate sector. So can you celebrate them for putting together this event? They, you know, put the money together, paid the bills, you know. It's not easy, right? I charge $20,000 to speak anywhere. And even if I use relationship with Pastor Glory, you should have known at least how much it would have still cost them, right, to bring me physically. Of course, it was relationship that made me to come. Like Soye was saying, many people are still doubting that I'm in Benin because they understand that I do a lot of international engagement and I'm always busy. So they couldn't believe that I'll come to Benin. But I'm here, and that's the power of what? Relationship. And I tell people, many of you need to master not just how to make relationship with powerful people, but how to sustain relationship with what? With powerful people. Am I making sense at all? Some of you, the day your friends start making money is the day low self-esteem comes on you. You naturally just assume he will not attend to you anymore. Who knows what I'm talking about? And you just lose opportunity to keep that amazing relationship that has capacity to turn your life around. And what you don't know is that successful people are as human, as normal as you are. They are ready to interact and relate with everyone as you do. Just that there are certain keys and principles that give access to them. One of them, I've always said this, is never go to a rich man asking for any favor. Are you listening to me now? Never do what? Go to a rich man asking for any favor. All my mentors are extremely richer than I do. But I've never met one of them without a gift. Not one. It will not happen. It will not happen. And they are way richer. They don't need my gift. Am I making sense at all? They do what not? They don't need my gift. But you see, once you understand the principle of gift, it separates you. You are treated differently. Am I making sense at all? You know, this morning I was with the Esama of Benin, Chief Dr. Gabriel Benedion. And I remember when he was giving his speech, thanking me for whatever gift I brought, in my mind, I'm like, what gift to Esama himself? First man to build the first teaching hospital, first man to own airline. But guess what? It's not about the gifts. That most people who always come around people like that, they are looking for what to get. I don't know that you get. So it's not about whether the gift is big or not. Does this make sense at all? It's just a thing that makes them to know that this person understands the principle of how to rise to the top. And they treat you differently. A lot of the wealthy people around you will have opened more doors for you if only you do not approach them with help me see my life, I'm struggling. Am I making sense at all? There are people today who are closer to me than my family blood. I'm talking of same father, same mother. And they are way closer. They are probably going to be in my will. And they are not rich people. And you know the reason? They are servants. They are adding value. Family member will say, hey, is he not my brother? In fact, imagine, he only gave me 50,000. 50,000 with all the money he has. The reality of life is that no man owes you anything. You are absolutely responsible for the outcome of your life. The day you know this is the day you start rising to the top. No man owes you anything. No man. Whether they are related, they are not related. Blood or no blood. No man owes you anything. You owe yourself everything. Are you listening to me now? We understand the cultural innuendos and sentiments. As I speak to you, I have sent more than 10,000 kids to school. But I didn't do it because I felt I owed them. I owe no man. Are you listening to me now? Every month, our foundation gives $5,000 to small business owners to support them. It's a dash. But I don't do it because I think I owe them. Are you listening to me? So no man owes you anything. And the day you have that mindset is the day you start rising to the top. Because you don't carry entitlement mentality to nobody. You meet people and you are thinking, how do I add value? What can I contribute? Is this making sense at all? And when you come with that mindset, they are ready to treat you specially. Everybody is looking for something. The first day I met your governor, Dr. Obaseki, at a golf club in Lagos, my first conversation with him is that this is who I am. This is the value I offer. And I'm willing to offer it to Edo State. And funny enough, he gave me a very amazing secret, which probably made me, delay entering into the Edo market. That his priority now is industry. Because in real estate, and this is one of the things that most real estate people don't understand, what drives the housing deficit is industrial. When you have many industries coming into a state, what happens is that more people are moving to what? That state. And those people are having good jobs, so they can afford to spend their money. Then there's pressure on what? On housing. I see a lot of the models real estate companies are using here. You see them say you should pay 1,000 every day. And I really kudos to them. I mean, they are coming up with a lot of innovations and concepts just to make it affordable. Are we together now? But in reality, you and I know that how many people can be consistent in paying 1,000 naira till they finish paying 500,000 or 1 million? Am I making sense at all? And so we got talking and he said, look, if you are into industrial, I have land for you 100%. Because I'm trying to bring more what? Industries into Edo. So that when you come and build your green and smart home, there are people who have the capacity to pay for it because it's not cheap. Are we learning at all? But the reason why he treated me that way was because I was coming to him from the place of what? Value. Not, oh, I've met another governor. Maybe he'll give me contract. Maybe he will help me. Maybe he will do this. Again, tap your neighbor and say, neighbor, nobody owes you anything. You owe yourself everything. It's not working. It's not working. So, let me share with you my story before I then go to my slide. I started our company 15 years ago with just 1,000 naira. And it was a bulk SMS company. If I remember, my first set of training here in Benin, I think 2015 or 2016 or so, it was still bulk SMS business we're talking about, right? But 2015, we then expanded into real estate. And hear this, I was doing bulk SMS business 7 solid years, and I didn't change my business. Tell your neighbor, consistency. One of the biggest problems with many of us is not that the business we are doing is bad. It's just that we are not ready to endure the tough phase. If I ask some of you now in the last 7 years, how many business you've done? Some of you will tell me you've done like 10. Right? That's moderate. Some have done many. Anywhere belle face, any new opportunity. For 7 solid years, I used to paste posters. One day I pasted poster from Songwater. I don't know if you know Lagos very well. So Songwater is like the outskirts of Lagos, not part of Lagos, but it's boundary to Lagos. I pasted poster from Tollgate Songwater to Ikeja along. And I posted back. I started that journey 10 a.m. Every bus stop, I'm posting, buy bulk SMS, 70 kobo. By the time I was coming back to Songwater, inside Molue, by the time the Molue entered the bus stop, Songwa bus stop, it was 12:30 a.m. It was pitch dark. There was no lights. I was coming down from the Molue and tears were rolling down my eyes. I was not trying to cry. Who has been there? You are not trying to cry. You don't. It's like your body just pity you that Abba. You don't like. What kind of life be this? Who knows what I'm talking about? These ones they are butty. They don't know. Please let me face you people. Do you know what I'm talking about? Right? I was coming down and tears were just rolling down. And it happened to you. And as if the Holy Spirit just ministered to me right that same spot. He said, why are you crying? He said, one day you will tell people your story, they will not believe you. He said, this is a phase. Cheer up. And then there was even no Okada. Again, I had another over 20 kilometers to my house. But I just cheered up and I started singing, walking down. Today now, I live in the tallest building in the world called Burj Khalifa in Dubai. I have come here to inspire you. Are we together now? Like I said, a more detailed training will be tomorrow with the CEOs. I've just come to inspire you because many of us underrate the power of hope. The reason you are quitting is that you don't have hope. You cannot see a glorious future and give up. Can I repeat myself again? You cannot be convinced of a glorious future and give up. One of the reasons why Paul in the Bible says, faith without work is dead, and that show me your faith by your work, is that the proof that a man has faith is his hard work. Oh, you are not getting it. Who are those who are for me? You are too cold. Is it Benin or what? I need a group of people I can center on. They are alive. They are energy. Who are those people? It's the same thing with joy. It's the same thing with joy. Right? I was in Esama's house this morning and a group of people, they were singing, and at 89, he was dancing. It doesn't matter, but Baba is full of joy. You won't see anybody who knows they have a glorious future that is not joyful. It doesn't matter where they are now. It doesn't matter the challenge. So if you saw me that night, walking in darkness, and then I'm singing. You wonder what's wrong with this boy. But because the Holy Spirit said that thing to me, remember what I told you? He said, when the tears were rolling down, I said, why are you crying? One day you will tell people this your story, and they what? They will not believe you. Share up. This is a face. So, peradventure you are sad, you need to go and check your vision well. You've not seen well. If you really see well, you know that this is a face. Am I making sense at all? Why do you think Joseph was still hopeful in the slave? He was in slavery now. And the guy was joyous. Everything was working in his hands. He entered prison again. He was one consoling sad people. You don't get it. The man was too sure. How do I know he was too sure? When he interpreted their dream, he still told them, remember me. He was too sure he wasn't ending there. He could still remember the dream God showed him. The stars, the moon bowing down to him. Have you seen where? Oh, I said, have you seen where? You better go back home and see where. You can't see where and be downcasted. You can't see where and be acting like somebody they need to encourage. Ask Pastor Glory, he's known me for 10 years. Have I ever dropped in joy? We will do training, even here in Benin, run into losses. Right? I would do in Protea Hotel. I'm still bubbling. Are we in that level now? Are we together? Tap your neighbor. I say, neighbor, neighbor, neighbor. From today, no more sadness. I can see clearly. I am not for the bottom. I am for the top. I am for the top. I am going somewhere. I don't know about you, neighbor. I don't know about you. Don't look at me like the way I am now. Oh, I am going somewhere. Last month, I was privileged to get the Forbes Best of Africa Investment Coach and Real Estate Mogul Award in London. And I'm probably the youngest in their history to get such an award. Right? You will soon be global. Don't worry. We run a Stephen Akita Foundation grant. Our vision is in the next 5 years, we're going to be empowering 1,000 entrepreneurs with $5,000. You can apply. It's for everyone. There's no segregation. I'm not even involved in selecting winners. So you can always go to the website, stephenakintayfoundation.com, and you see all the various opportunities, and you can apply. It's our own way of giving back, to people. This is myself and the Esama. I admire this man a lot. I really do. What he has is not just money. Right? Many people in their olden days do not enjoy what he enjoyed. His teaching hospital people came, and I was shocked to hear this story. That there was a family. They had a surgery they needed to do. They couldn't afford the money because during his birthday, they do free medical surgery for people. Right? And that the man and the wife waited over a year for the next birthday. And that they just finished their surgery. And that they've done surgery for 3,000 people for free. Now, here was the shocking part that the MD of the teaching hospital said. Shocking. He said, sir, you have been paying our salary. And this teaching hospital has not made profits. And you've just been there. In fact, I was so humble because the man said, we also brought gifts for you. Because we know how you have just been putting, and you just have a good heart for the people. Will you help me celebrate the Esama of Benin? Come on. Right? And I know that a lot of you young people, you don't read stories, you don't read history. That's why you undermine successful people. You say, hey, who is Dangote? No big government money. Who is? If you read history and try to begin to learn from those who are ahead, 5 years ago was the first time I met him. And I was humble to ask questions and study. Because one day, I'm hoping that I won't just be rich like him, I'll also live long. Does that make sense at all? Okay? I need you to know, and you should write this down. If you will go far financially, you must begin to envy and not hate successful people. Am I making sense at all? Because you do not replicate what you despise. The way we were trained, including myself, is to hate rich people. And whether you know their story or not, you say, whoa, waiting. You don't know what they do. Right? One man changed that story. I was still young. I was in university. We're in front of the house, the road, and a very good car passed. And I told the guy, see them. He looked at me and said, if you ever say this again, we'll never be friends. I was like, did I offend you? He said, do you want to be rich? I said, yes. He said, do you know the man in the car? I said, no. He said, why did you come to the conclusion that he must have stolen the money? You can never attract what you despise. Are you learning something powerful today? So if you want to become something, you need to genuinely, and I'm talking of genuine, and that's why when I meet people like that, I bring gifts, even though they are richer than me. I take gifts. Because it's a way to say, I want to be like you one day. And I'm not joining those gang of people who just, listen, there is no rich man. Somebody said this to me. He said, many years ago, I told you, I said, I want to be a billionaire, but I'm afraid that, people will say bad things about me. And he laughed. He said, show me one billionaire that they've not said something bad about. He said, that's normal. Success comes with negativity and mockery, but in the end, you are successful, you prefer that success compared to what? Failure. Even the people mocking you, they're just saying it out of envy. They don't really mean it. Are you listening to me now? So I hope you are noting the pointers that I'm making. Celebrate those who have what you don't have. Celebrate those who are ahead of you. Celebrate those who have what you are hoping you will become one day. And it's a matter of time you will replicate them. After the encounter with this, my friend, I changed my mindset. When I see rich people, I no longer just assume. And I realized that this is part of why we're not making progress in Nigeria. In Dubai one day, I have a show called Investment Chat in a Rolls Royce. So I was shooting my show in Dubai. And an Emirati, it was a very unique Rolls Royce car, right? Because they brought two of it. And an Emirati guy, that is one of their locals, right? He came in and saw the car, took picture, and started asking questions about the car, smiling, very happy. He doesn't own a Rolls Royce, but was happy to see one. I said, this is the reason why there are more millionaires. I hope you know that per population, Dubai has more millionaires than anybody else in the world because of they have a smaller population. Because even the people, whether they're as rich or as you or not, are we together now? They are happy when they meet people who are rich. They are not looking at you and saying, you don't know. Who? How? Okay? It's not working again. What happened? Are you happy to be here? Are you happy to be here? Good. So, resilience is my first encouragement to you today. Everybody say resilience. You must be what? You must be resilient. If you are going to go to the top, you must be resilient. Listen, if success is easy, everybody else will have made it. I have a formula for success. Are you ready to hear that? And I want you to write it down. Success is hard work plus smart work plus network. Hard work plus smart work plus network equals to what? Success. Do not let anybody deceive you that smart work is the only secret. Don't let anybody deceive you. I went to bed last night after 9. I woke up, I think about 1 a.m., and I've been up till now. I sleep an average of 4 to 5 hours a day. So, if that is not hard work, tell me. Tell me now. Because hard work is not just carrying block. There's something called mental work. Everybody say mental work. And even in that mental work, it's still hard work. Some of you call it, I don't want to stress my brain. You better stress it. If you want money to come out of it. The stress will be sweat, but it will soon turn to sweet. You better what? Stress that brain. If you want to build a great business, if you want to become successful, you have to stress your brain. You have to think. People ask me, what do you do? I say, I read. And I meditate average of 4 hours a day. Because you'll have been asking me, what was I doing from that 1 a.m. till morning? I was meditating. So this subsidiary of our business, what can we do to make it better? Right? I come up with ideas. Move to another subsidiary. Move to another subsidiary. Those who work with me know sometimes 2 a.m. in our management group, I'm just dropping instructions. Boom, boom. And they say, I'm sure some of them will pretend that they are not awake. Now, who are going to kill if they look for? Right? Okay? Are we together now? Are we learning? Somebody has to do the thinking. Any organization that is moving forward, somebody is doing the physical work, somebody else is doing the mental work. What other approach? What other strategy? How else do we penetrate the market? What other concept will help us to go further? Are we learning? Be what? Come on, I want energy. Be what? Be resilient. Is the video playing? And I'm going to show you this video and you tell me what you notice in the video.
My name is Stephen Akintayo, known as Africa's most sought after investment coach. I started 15 years ago, 2008, as an entrepreneur, and knowing nothing, but having the guts, and of course wanting to be wealthy, as I was born from a poor family. My mother was a civil servant. My father's business had crumbled before I was born, but I knew that we could be wealthy. I knew that poverty was bad and something was wrong with the kind of poverty I've been experiencing over and over again. But something changed my life. At the age of 17, I started reading a book on money, and I got to know that I can be wealthy. It's possible. And the question was, why are all these things not taught in the university? Why is my professor not knowing how to be rich? Why is he not teaching me? And this is why I've decided, haven't traveled all over the world, haven't built global businesses, haven't started with $10 and grew a multi-million-dollar corporation. I started the first wealth university where we teach you how to make, manage, and multiply money. Understanding the secrets. Some of the courses in the Stephen Akintayo University, by the time you're done with it, you can literally start your own business or be able to learn how to invest in a business and make money for yourself. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to sign up today by visiting www.stephenakintayouniversity.com and start your journey to building real wealth and prosperity today.
Now, so I have something called the Stephen Akintayo University. By the way, I'm giving it is 2 $250 a month. It has all my life works and that of my mentors. It's my number one platform for coaching anyone, right? I think 250 is how much in Naira? Maybe 200,000. So for those of you coming for tomorrow's master class, I'm going to be giving you the platform for free for 1 month, right? Are you happy to know about that? Because of Pastor Glory, I'll be giving it for free. And I think it's a powerful platform to go on, because you will learn courses on how do you do Forex, how do you do crypto business, how do you do e-commerce, how do you do real estate. We have all those courses there. Because sometimes when we do conferences like this, people expect you to teach them how to do a business that you've been doing for 10 years in 2 hours. That's not how it works. Conferences are to motivate you for action. Are we together now? But it, of course, takes a whole process and it takes a whole journey for you to really, really execute. Does this make sense? But one of the things you notice in that video is my story, like I told you. My mother was a civil servant. My father's business had collapsed before I was born. To worsen it, by the time I was graduating, my mother, who was our breadwinner, died of ovarian cancer. You see, one of my biggest regrets today, because when I checked the medical bill, right, because her tummy was swelling up, and she kept going to teaching hospital for 6 months. They couldn't diagnose her. And after 6 months, her tummy was like a 9-month pregnant woman. She was in bad shape. So our colleagues at work gathered money. Maybe that's part of the reason why I'm very much into treating your employees well, right? Because my mother was one. And they tried to gather money to send her to a private hospital. This is a very painful story for me. I still get emotional up to now. What they couldn't do in teaching hospital for 6 months, in 4 days, they were able to diagnose that it was ovarian cancer, but it has spread. 2 days after surgery, she died. So when I went to retrieve her corpse for burial, I hope many of you who think I'm lucky now knows my story, because you just see people, you think they are lucky. You think they've not gone through, you see them, who knows? We'll tell you stories, what we've been through. I went to retrieve her corpse and they gave me the bill. Everything was 800 and something thousand. And it still hurts me today, because the same me that gives $5,000 grants every month to people, which is over 3 million. My own mother died because we couldn't raise 800,000. And this is one of the reasons why I tell people that in this part of the world, if you become lazy and embrace poverty, you are suicidal. Poverty is equal to suicide in this part of the world. Am I making sense at all? And for you to really come out of it, it's not just a let them dash me. Because how many times can they dash you? How many times, if they give you today, you still need tomorrow? It is that you have to learn how to fish for yourself, how to raise funds for yourself, how to build wealth for yourself. That is the ultimate financial freedom. But my story was that now my mother was dead. Now I needed a job. I remember printing 100 CVs looking for a job in Lagos. I even had a cover letter. I said, don't pay me salary for 6 months until I prove that I'm good. The first place, they said there's no table and chair. The second place, the lady took my CV and just walked in as if I was taking her job. I was even asking. She just abandoned me at the reception. Right? The third place, the man looked at me and said, can I tell you the truth? There's no job in this country. You've tried businesses when you're on campus. I will advise you to go and be running those businesses. I said, I need experience. He said, should I be lying to you? There's no job. I still consider that man an angel, because that's the last place I dropped my CV till today. I went back And this is the reason why many of us are not making progress. You think what is in your hand is too small. Remember that the story of that widow that came to Elisha. He said, what do you have? He said, I don't have nothing. What do you have? Except for an oil and jar, go and be pouring that oil. It won't finish. One of the businesses I had done on campus was a bulk SMS business. I had started with 1,000 naira. But in my mind, how can anybody become successful with a bulk SMS business? By 2015, we were the biggest in this country in that same business that started with 1,000 naira. Do not despise the days of what? Little beginning. Makuban said this, it doesn't matter how many times you fail. You only have to be right once. And then everyone can tell you that you are what? Overnight. I've done almost 20 businesses. I sold popcorn. I hawk electronic. I organized trade fair. Name it. I sold e-books. All manner. But you just have to be successful in one. How many of you are encouraged not to give up? How many of you will go back again? How many of you will start again? It doesn't matter how many you fail. Just succeed in one. Is that not my story today now? You see some, if I one day I was reading on social media, someone say, hey, see, motivational speaker. No be US government, give her money. I'm like, I wish so. I would be happy. Right? In 50 years, we've not taken one bank loan. One. It's resilience. We have to be resilient. In fact, why we brought in our new group CEO, because he's an investment banker, he's done it for over 20 years. He said, okay, now come and help us raise funds. Because at least we don't know how to do it. But my point is that we have gotten this far by doing the impossible with the available. Tell your neighbor, do the impossible with the available. Come on. Say, neighbor. Do the impossible with the available. Let me give you another case study. During COVID-19, everybody was shutting down their offices. Many even announced that, you know what, at this point, please time me. I need to leave here by 3. What's the time? Okay, so once it's 3, let me know. I just shut down. So many companies started, literally shut down. Some said to their staff till December during COVID. You remember March 20th or something, right? Nigeria was shut down. And I remember saying to my team, I said, if we shut down like everybody else, we will suffer what everybody else will suffer. So I told a group of them, I said, I'll pay you during this period. Can we be working from the office? We'll be sleeping in the office. I'll be meeting every day. Thank God my own house was stone throw, I could trek. And we'll crack the code. So that when other businesses will just be waking up, we've gone ahead. And that was the same period we were doing virtual streaming of all our estates. We did our first CNN advert. In fact, billboard we never do. Advert we never, even on local television, we went straight to CNN. And I told the team, I said, why are we doing this? All our colleagues have stopped their adverts. If we go aggressive, we'll be the only one they are seeing. Am I making sense at all? And before you know it, a small company will become a big company. And that's what happened. We grew by more than 500%. And write this down. When they are zigging, you must zag. Always go the opposite direction of the masses. Write it down. Always what? Go the opposite direction of the what? Of the masses. When they are zigging, you what? You zag. When they are zagging, you what? Oh, who is with me here? When they are zigging, you what? When they are zagging, you what? Always go the opposite direction of the what? Of the masses, of the majority. Always go opposite. And that's why some of you never heard of us until 2020, 2021, 2022. Because suddenly we moved from being one of those struggling companies to becoming in the front line because we did not do what everybody else was doing. We understood that we could grow our brand in crisis. And why am I saying this? This same period, they are talking about fuel price has increased, dollar has increased. If only you would do some mental work, this is your time to shine. You were born for such a time as this. Look at our company. Our business model is that we're building green and smart home. We will not use what's it called? Electricity. We will not use gen. We are using solar. Suddenly, see how God is giving, like Yoruba will say, "Ọlọ́run gbógo fọ́lẹ̀ wá báyìí." Because now, for anybody to even be able to afford the petrol, am I making sense at all? Now, people are now serious about, okay, Dr. Say, it be like saying that this is your house where, you know, they connect to NEPA. No petrol. It be like saying that he will go do because, right? It will ultimately be more cheaper. Are we learning at all? But it's because you are thinking ahead. It's because you are not trying to join the crowd. And I'm going to be sharing this with all the CEOs tomorrow. I'll be giving you some blueprints, right, to actually grow your brand. Because if your business is like that of everybody else, why will anybody buy from you? They have 20 other people to go and do business with. You must be different. When everybody was shouting affordable house, me, I said, I'm not even interested. In fact, and people said to me, why are you not selling cheap land? I said, if we do cheap land and we do expensive land, we will take over the whole market now. Let some people do cheap. Who will do premium? Am I making sense at all? And guess what happened? As their cheapness began to affect their credibility, because the person that paid you 100,000 today, tomorrow say, I told them I want to bury my mother, I needed my 100,000 naira back, they are scammers. We now, the caliber of customers we have, they are not the ones that just go anyhow and shout on social media. Are you learning what I'm saying? Till tomorrow, the clients who give us a headache were in the early days when we started, when we were still doing flexible payment. They are the ones. They say, see them, I need my money. And you know, how much is this money saved? How much? Are you learning something at all? But of course, temporarily, we struggled. Because it's easy to catch all this smaller money. We struggled, yes. We struggled. But consistency, resilience, after a while, people start saying, these people that are not cheap, there's a reason they were not cheap. There's a reason. Are we learning something today? I can't go into this video. I'll just move on. Let's read this together. I want to go. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not what? Taking risk. So one of the things people say to me, Dr. Stephen, who do you know before you went to open your business in Dubai? What was the connection? And guess what? My first time in Dubai, I knew no mortal man. And I was to do a seminar. True story. And then I announced the venue. And on the day of the training, can anybody guess how many people showed up? Just guess. Yes. God bless you. Your wisdom will not run dry. One person didn't show up. I kid you not. One. And it was even free. But nobody showed up. It was then I realized that maybe I had beaten too much. Who knows me? And I'm talking about 2015 or something. Who knew me? I then said to myself, power of not giving up. If they won't come to me, I'll go to them. I will start doing what I wanted to teach. I will teach it on Facebook. So I started Facebook Live. Right? Guess what happened? Because the trip was Dubai to US. I was in the US, one of those videos. Another pastor thought it was a live show. So he was saying, come to Dubai, come to Dubai. True story. On my returning back to Nigeria, I had to get extra ticket to Dubai. And guess how many people were waiting for me in the hall? Over 200 people. Right? And they paid everything, visa, hotel, everything was paid for. Are we learning at all? If I didn't take that risk, and little did I know that I would still later open my business in Dubai. The year we opened our business in Dubai, our transaction was more than 8 years of transaction in Nigeria. 1 year transaction in Dubai. Learn to take risk. It's not going to be easy. I tell people it's risky not to take risk. Everybody that is doing well, plunging. We didn't know where we were going. Somebody said something very powerful. He says, for success is like a man who is in the air and jumps down before he tries to figure out whether he had a parachute or not. Can I say it again? Success is like a man, what? In the air, in the plane, and jumps down. He's on his way down. He's now saying, oh, do I have parachute? Because he could die. But many times, actors know they die. Are we learning at all? You must take risk if you want to grow financially, you want to start a business, you want to become successful. You have to take risk. Okay, again, we don't have the time to go into this. So let's look at quick advice for business owners who are struggling to stay tough. Number one, stay positive. Hasn't that been part of what we've discussed? Everybody shall stay positive. I need it louder. Stay positive. Number two, be flexible. Come on, repeat it after me. Right? So years ago, it was bulk SMS, right? Now we're doing real estate. Do you see? Be flexible. Study the terrain. Know when to diversify. Some of you say, no, it's what God showed me. This is what God showed me. We will not end there. No, go and ask that God again. Right? Because many times you hear yourself and you say it's God. Are we together now? And some of us are stubborn. We will just sit there. No, I heard God. No, I heard God. Okay? If it was God, the result will have shown. Is this making sense to talk? So, be flexible. Number three, be decisive. Now you want to do something, do it. Don't start analysis that leads to paralysis. I'm trying to, I'm planning to, I'm becoming. How many of you ladies here are singles? Single ladies, MC and stuff. All my single ladies? I'm single. Don't marry a man that is planning to, I'm planning to, I'm hoping to, I'm planning to. Don't marry him. Are we together now? See the action. Now, I'm not asking you to marry a rich man, because that one too will not respect you. Are you listening to me now? But marry a man that he is not planning to in 1 year. You could see him. Ask my wife. I told her I'm going to marry her, but today I'm selling popcorn. Sometimes she will join me. We'll go to Redeem Camp every first Friday to sell popcorn. We'll do the popcorn business, we'll lose. And she's fair. The thing will burn her skin. Right? And then at the end of the day, we're at a loss. But she knew this guy is going somewhere. That's the kind of guy I'm talking about. Not the one that is just planning to, he's not doing anything. Tomorrow we'll do a trade fair. I'll bring books. I'm selling books. Sometimes you help me stay in my own stand while I'm selling the books. We make some small profit. But you could see the action, the baby steps. So be decisive. Don't keep telling everybody I'm planning to. Ask yourself, what's the starting phase of this idea? Only the great starts from the top. Everything great starts from small. This is why many of you young people, you hate it when I tell you I started my business with 1,000 naira. You call it motivational speaking. But will I change the story? Google my pictures 10 years ago. I started with 8,000 naira. What is in your hand is enough if you can think well. There's a starting phase for every great idea. There's a starting phase. Our real estate company, I was doing a training like this. Digital marketing training. And I told her, I said, very soon we'll start real estate. I didn't know a man was in the place who had 250 acres in Ikorodu, but struggling to sell. That's why he came for my class, digital marketing. After the class, he walked up to me and said, Dr. Stephen, you're a man of integrity. You have capacity to sell. I'll give you 50 acres. As you sell, right, you pay me. That's how we started. Today we are counting 30 estates in Nigeria alone. So you are saying there's no money, there's no capital, there's no capital. Have you gone to meet Blessed Legacy and say, oh God, let me be working and learning how to sell? Right? And then you keep at it. All your social media, all your uncle abroad, instead of begging them for money, say, uncle, I dey advise you now, come buy land for Benin. Eh? Before you know it, you get this commission, you encourage again, you get this. 10 years from now, maybe you own your own company, doing the same real estate business. But for you to fold your hands and say, it doesn't work. Take risk. Tap your neighbor, say, take risk. Be decisive. Number 4, be resilient. We've talked about that. Never giving up. Keep at it. Stay there. Before you give up on any business, give it 4 years. And it's in the scripture, the story of the fig tree. Jesus saw that fig tree. It has not produced fruit for 3 years. I said, prune it, garnish it, give you 1 more year. At the 4th year, he said, cut it down. It was that same fig tree. So give it at least 4 years. Number 5, be patient. Tell your neighbor, be patient. Come on, tell your neighbor, say, be patient. So for those of you in the real estate sector, I have a training on Sunday, 3 p.m. at Protea Hotel. What I will do, if you are signing up for this, I'll give you free tickets for tomorrow's masterclass. Does that make sense at all? And I'll pay Pastor Glory 50,000 for your session. Does that make sense? Okay? That's for those of you who want to go into real estate. It's going to be 5-hour, practical session, digging down into how real estate works, how you need to go. You can ask the CEO of Blessed Global. He's been part of the Lagos. Sorry, they talk London. Blessed London, they hungry me. Right? Lagos one, right? So he was part of the Lagos one, and Stephen came again for our CEO retreat. So it's a very good platform that helps you to understand how real estate works and how to get into that industry. Right? If I can start my business here in Nigeria, I expanded to Dubai, to US, to UK, and my Nigeria is still expanding. At least I know 1 or 2 things to share. Do you agree with me? So I hope we'll meet in class and you will learn. I want to thank you for coming, and all of you who have reached out, God bless you for your messages. Thank you for coming.
Good day, everyone. I'm calling Samuda. My question is this, is to Dr. Stephen Akintayo. The question is this: in all of this, from grass to grace story, where is the place of spirituality, like tithing? Where does it come in? Because people have said, if you want to make it, work hard. Some say work smart. Some say you have to pray hard. I want to know, what's the place of spirituality? Is it just your intellect and being resilient, not giving up? Is that enough?
Good question. So, first of all, note that your question is to become wealthy. It's not to cast out demons or for healing. In the money equation, right, prayer and fasting is not there. Else, the richest man in the world is an atheist. The second richest man does not believe God exists. I can go on and on. If you gather the top 100 richest people in the world, most of them don't believe God exists. And yet they are rich. So you need to understand that in the conversation around money, right, is not prayer and fasting, is not spiritual gymnastic. The advantage of spirituality, and the Bible clearly states it, the blessing of the Lord maketh rich and added no. Is that there is not that dimension of peace, that dimension of, the grace of God around what you do, right? A lot of people admire my life because family settle, business settle. It's not as if one part is struggling, right? But that's where the place of spirituality then helps. Does that make sense at all? Because trust me, many of you who claim you are righteous now, you don't have money. That's why. Poverty helps your so-called holiness. I hope you know. Because you can't finance sin. Right? Some of you are holy now because you know if you finance. Sin is expensive, or you don't know. Right? It's expensive. So all this humility, even when I see people humble, it's poverty. It's not humility. Right? When money enter, I once jokingly said to my wife, because my wife is a very humble wife, amazing woman. But I humbly said to her, I said, I will believe you are really humble. The day, not my money now, you yourself, you don't talk billionaire. And you still date this humble. Now I will believe your humility, for real. Because money in itself, and it's in the Bible, money makes proud. Right? It's just the way a rich man talks roughly. It's in the book of Proverbs. So all this humility that they do, right, is poverty causing it. And trust me, let nobody deceive you. Poor unbelievers are becoming rich. In fact, many Christians are poor today or Muslims, because of their religiosity and instead of spirituality. For example, you want to start a business, Jehovah Nissi Enterprises. Okay, so it means Muslims cannot do business with you, Abi. You've wiped out 50% of your clientele, and you say demons are after you. Right? I made those mistakes too. Are we learning at all? Your business, best hour for your business, I'm just giving an example, it's probably night time. You come and say, we are doing vigil, we are doing revival in our church. One day, I was in the office. The church I attend, then I was an ordained pastor there. Right? Somebody will just be floor member, where I employ. Come tell me, say, sir, 5 p.m., answer, midweek service. I said, let the church pay your salary. Right? By the time I fire you, go and meet our bishop. Now, kuku our bishop together. Tell him, say, I fire you. Make God they pay your salary. Because we translate laziness to spirituality. Right? You are lazing around, you say you are spiritual. Lazing around. And you know why I could say that? My bishop has sacked people before, church workers, because they were reading Bible during work hours. Because they were administrative staff. So I could do that. So you better sit up and do your job. All this spirituality.
Okay, one last question, sir.
Yes.
Someone asked, I've been following you for years, so someone asked, he said, there are some people that would do all these things you've mentioned. The capacity to refuse to give up, the tenacity to keep on going on.
What did you say?
And
they
at the end,
question.
what I'm saying is that
somebody
people,
said.
Yeah, that people are saying that you can also do all
What's
of these
your
things.
business with people are saying? Please,
Okay.
next question.
Okay.
Next question. People are saying. What do you mean by people are saying? This is the problem. You don't even know God for yourself. Everything many of you here now know in the Bible is what your pastor said. There's none that you discover for your own. Everything is what your pastor said. Which one have you discovered? It's either what your pastor said, or what somebody said, or what you heard somebody. Which one did you discover for your own self? Come on. Yes, next question, Jerry.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity.
And that person you said, is he as successful as I am? And you're asking me jump question. I've gotten result and I'm telling you how it works and you're telling me what somebody said. Who is the somebody? Next question, Jerry.
My name is King Leon. I do digital marketing and help businesses get more clients online. I've been in a few of your trainings. The question I want to ask you is, in the beginning of the session, you said, how long can someone stay in a business? In other words, you shouldn't be jumping from one business to the other one. Further along in the talk, you said you had tried over 20 businesses. My question is, where do people find the breaking point to stay in one or to leave? In a case where you try to do a business and it's seemingly not working, when do you know what to give up? I know you mentioned the 4-year thing, but must you wait till the 4 years, or when do you know that it is time to move on?
I've already said it's 4 years that I advise. It's an advice, it's not compulsory. But my advice is, before you quit any business, give it 4 years. Now, when I say give it 4 years, does not mean don't change strategy, don't change products. Does that make sense at all? I'm not even asking you not to even change the name of the company. Our company used to be Gilead Balm, now it's G-Text, right? We used to do only bulk SMS. At some point, we introduced database, we introduced email marketing, but it's still in the same genre of business. Does it make sense at all? And at some point, when I started real estate, I realized juggling the two was giving me an issue, because I wasn't successful in either. It was not affecting. So I dropped the bulk SMS business and focused on real estate. When the business grew back and I could employ more staff, we then started branching back again. Because the challenge is, there's nothing wrong with having multiple businesses, but do you have enough money to pay enough professionals, having different people? In our company now, we have 7 CEOs. Then among those 7, he is now the one that coordinates the entire 7. Am I making sense at all? So that costs a lot, right? Forget how that is here. For this kind of man to be working in Nigeria, his salary is more than 100 of you here. So, but if we didn't grow to that point where we could afford that, right, and we're piecing our energy in multiple places, we will not make progress. So it's important to give it time, but change strategy. Ask questions, have mentors. If I ask some of you now, who is your mentor? You don't have. Some of you, as you now start making some small change, you are too big for anybody to advise you. Right? So these are the issues. For me, as my business grow bigger, I go meet those who are ahead. When I enter a land, who is the big man there? Let me go and pay homage. It may be one thing I will notice. It may be 2 advice he will give me. But many of us, is when we run into trouble. I know how many people, it's when they run into trouble, they are now looking for my number. Hey, Dr. Stephen, when your business was doing well, when you should bring in people to say, help me check. Because it's not about how far, it's about how well. So if you can combine having good mentors, right, even now that you are trying to run that business, they will navigate you well. Now, the question you say is that, it's you, I want to be my mentor, but I can't afford you. And truly, you can't afford me, so don't bother. But there are people in this Benin city who will be willing to what? To mentor you. They may not be as big as Stephen Akitayo, but they're on that journey. Right? Am I making sense at all? Sure. Pastor Glory is here with you. My brother here, Blessed, is here with you. Right? So why are you not leveraging on people like that to say, because they are here. If you go and knock in their office and wait for them and say, sir, I want to learn, you might get a chance. And if all that fails, the last final 3 secrets I teach, go and serve them. Go and serve them. Ask them, I want to work for you, don't pay me. I told you how I wrote my CV, and I put, don't pay me for 6 months. The truth is, I didn't know how I would eat for that 6 months. In fact, my house was in Songo. I was applying for jobs in VI. I didn't know how to transport myself. But take the first step now. Risk. Remember we taught you that. And let the rest play it. So, but for you to sit down and say there's no job in Nigeria, nothing is working, and nobody wants to mentor you, they don't owe you now. Are you the one they are thinking? They have their own headache too. They have their own problems as well.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
Thank you.
If you want to clap for me, clap well. I don't like average. Clap well. Do well. Okay? I'm good.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. God bless
Thank
you
you very
all.
much, sir.